It's day 11 in Advent. We're reading from Charlie and Noel, an Advent calendar story by Franziska Macur. December 11th, Acorns and Other Tiny Things. Look at this, Noel. Charlie came back into the living room. His pants were covered in mud, and he was trying to catch his breath, but his eyes sparkled with joy. In one hand, he held a bunch of shiny rocks, and it seemed like there were a lot more in his pockets, which were puffed out on both sides of his pants. In his other hand, he carefully showed Noel a bunch of acorns. "Great rocks," said Noel. "Those should work great." "Yes," said Charlie, sounding excitedly impatient. "But look at these," he said, holding out his pile of acorns. Noel looked at Charlie, a little lost. "Acorns for Mom's fairy garden." Charlie's mom had started a small garden decorated with miniature things that she created from anything she could find in nature. In the garden, she had made a table and chairs out of twigs, a little swing, and even a miniature birdhouse. Noel seemed to be slowly catching on. "So, you are going to make something with the acorns for her garden?" "Yes, I'm going to make her a tea set. It's going to be awesome." She saw one last year at the craft market and talked about it for forever. The tea kettle was made of a whole acorn, but they also had a spout and handles made with twigs. I don't really know how to put those on. Charlie looked kind of discouraged now. Noel looked at him reassuringly. "Remember, Charlie, problems are there to be solved. Could your dad maybe help you or give you some tips?" "I guess," said Charlie, nervously tapping his fingers on the door frame. "But I don't really want him to know what I'm making for Mom." "Who else do you know who might be able to help?" Noel asked, sounding positive. "Well," Charlie thought long and hard. "Maybe my teacher could help, or, oh, I know, Mr. Grayer can help. You know, the guy that lives at the end of our street. He often sits in the park and carves little boats and stuff." Charlie looked very hopeful now. "I'm going tomorrow after school and I'll ask him." Noel tried to give Charlie a high five, but it was rather hard with a donkey hoof. They both started to laugh. Family talk for December 11th. Talk about something that discourages you easily. How could you change this? Another question. What would be the tiniest present that you could make? And you could look up online things about fairy gardens if you wanted. On welcometananas.com, there's 2 posts about making fairy gardens. One in a box that you can put on your library shelf, and the other outside or in a potted plant. So you could look those up too if you want.